In this video today, we're going to be going over a strategy that we recently implemented for one of our one-to-one clients and took them from 30 to 100K a month without spending an extra dollar on ads. And what's crazy about this strategy is that it is complementary to everything that we have ever done in every single one of our agencies and businesses. And that strategy that we believe in is being an expert in your field. No matter what you do, you're always branding yourself as the number one expert. And this strategy helps you capitalize on all of that authority that you're developing and bring in more customers instead of just relying on running Facebook ads to an appointment page or running cold email, LinkedIn, etc. Again, it's helping you expand and really establish yourself as the number one expert in addition to bringing more customers into your business for free. And this is a flywheel that you can set up once and it's just going to run month over month over month, and you're going to capitalize on so much attention that you have. So the fuel for this as we jump in is going to be your database and your socials. So you're going to have people, if you're running ads, they're clicking in and they never book an appointment with you, they no show and you never speak to them. So that's your database. You're also going to have socials. I personally believe with where AI is taking this landscape, the only thing that we really own is our brand, our employees, and our clients. Those are the three things that we really own because fulfillment and everything else is just being encapsulated and taken over by AI, which is not a bad thing, but it allows you to double down on what actually matters. So again, doubling down on your brand and specifically posting on social media is going to help you establish yourself in your industry as an expert forever. And let's just say something happens and you can no longer sell whatever service that you're selling currently, you're going to be positioned as an expert. So it's going to be much easier for you to transition out and just sell something else because people already see you as an expert instead of everybody else that's just selling one specific service. They don't have much of a brand. If something changes in the market, they're screwed because they don't have a following, they don't have a brand, they don't have a customer and a client base. And those two keywords are going to be very important here in the future. So let's dive in. So you have your database and your socials. The first thing that you're going to be doing with these people is having them join some kind of school, some kind of community, and some kind of workshop. This is going to be an easier call to action for these people instead of saying book a call. A lot of people aren't going to be ready to convert just hopping on a sales call, which they know is going to happen. They're not going to be ready for that. It's much easier to say, hey, comment down below or reply back to this email and we'll send you X, Y, and Z for free. This is our unique strategy, right? Or you can make direct call to actions for people to join your group. Now, once they're inside of here, it's a couple different things that we can do. And the first thing that we are going to start with is our content, our material, whatever we're giving them. So we're going to position this as a workshop. And this is specifically what we're doing and what we did with the client and what we're doing with our agencies. This is something that you could position it as more of a challenge funnel. There's a lot of different ways that you could specifically position this. And there's a couple different things that you do. So when somebody joins this, you're going to offer them a free introduction call. You could position this as a one-to-one implementation call. You could do an onboarding call, whatever you want to call it. You're going to offer basically a free strategy call for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. Now, it's very important that this is really not a sales call. It's a setting call. So it's not super salesy. It's not meant to be super long. And you're really kind of doing a little bit of a bait and switch like, hey, book your call. It's an implementation call to make sure you're set up with whatever you gave those people, again, inside the workshop. Now, it's a couple different ways that you can do this. You can do it one to many. You can do it one to one. If you have a big following and you have hundreds of people joining this every single week, one to many is going to be much better. If you're an agency where you have a couple people joining every single day, it's not a lot, I absolutely would do it as a one-to-one setting call because the thing with this is that you are going to get a couple of these people that they hop on the setting call. Of course, you have the reminders for the appointment, and they potentially might just skip the workshop completely based off the setting conversation. You tell them a little bit more about what you do, and they're hopping on calls for you to sell them your paid services. Now, here's the thing, not everybody is going to ascend to a closing call. So now we also have the ability to implement some kind of what I like to call a transition call. Now, again, this can also be done one to many, and I have it set right here that it was for 3 days. You can do this for as many days as you'd like, but it's basically positioned as a final call, which means, hey, Whatever you came in for, you went through it. Now it's time for your transition call to get X, Y, and Z. Again, you could do this on your introduction call if you're doing it one to one or even one to many. You can make the call to action that says, hey, you guys are going to be going through this in the next X amount of days. Right now, I want you guys to book your transition call, whatever you want to call it. You can drop the link and they'll book those calls. The other option is you put this call to action at the end of whatever training it might be. So let's just say you're an agency and you're running this strategy as a workshop on how to generate clients for your business, and you're teaching them how to set up a campaign. You could also call this an ad review call, right? And you could have them hop on because now they implemented whatever you're selling them, and they can hop on that one-to-one call for a review. Same thing that we're doing right here is that we also need to think about that whatever we're giving somebody, it's creating a problem for them that's getting them a quick win, but then it's getting them stuck again. An example of that might be a workshop where you're helping them create an ad for their business for them to sell their services, but they've never ran ads before, or they don't have a landing page, or whatever it might be. So you're getting them a quick win, but then they're getting stuck. That's what's going to ascend them into your product or services, because again, they hop on this transition call, review call, whatever it might be. Of course, they have reminders to book that call as well. And then you can ascend them again into a paid services call, paid community. There's a lot of different options for this. Now, I'm a big proponent of having multiple different products. It's called a product suite. So you have a done for you offer. That's kind of your main breadwinning offer. You can do something that's more done with you. That's going to be more coaching and consulting. You can have something that's more do it yourself, like a course, and then pin that up with a SaaS. And then that's your super low ticket. But it allows you to meet with all of these people and basically sell them no matter where they're at, no matter how much money they have. And what's really cool with that is it also allows you to farm trust assets from all of these different types of people, where even if you're running ads just to sell your done for you services, you're going to be able to build up and establish all of this credibility that's going to help you sell more of your main offer as well. So you have these two calls. This is mainly how to convert with whatever lead magnet, course, workshop that you're actually giving people. Again, going into your paid services. But now here's the thing. Now that we have them in this community, we can do a lot of cool stuff with them, right? Every single week, we can run some kind of a member spotlight session, interview. You could do this live. You could do this with just a YouTube video, but you can drop all of this to those individuals, and your conversion mechanism becomes the actual posts that you're sending them, because they're in the group. They're in the community. Now let's just post, let's remarket to these individuals. But if, let's just say you take a client on for a member spotlight session and you're doing a live weekly call and you can get 20 or 30 people inside of there, you're basically asking them, hey, how's your experience been? What's been going on? And then now, because you're doing that in front of these people, it's so easy to just make a call to action that's like, hey, if you want these exact same results, get our paid services and our community. So again, that is just the start. Of course, after they go through here, you're going to drop them into some kind of a post nurture sequence. And then of course, people will also ascend into any kind of newsletter blasts, call to actions, etc., that you can use to remarket your paid services. Now, the second part to this, because again, this is all of your database, your social media that you're also using for these blasts and everything like that. But now, because they're joining this group, you're getting a name, phone, and email. You have a really cool option. And that option is the ability to auto register these people for a monthly webinar. Now, webinars have been around forever. I don't suggest positioning whatever you're doing as a quote unquote webinar, but a free training or workshop is super attractive to any type of client. And because the barrier of entry is so much lower, because they don't feel like they're getting pitched, they'll get on that webinar or that workshop where it's really just an hour of you pitching them your services. And again, that becomes another conversion mechanism for these individuals inside of here. So the way that it works is when they join that free community, you have a name, phone, and email. And with that information, with Zoom, you're going to be able to auto register these people for a monthly webinar. Now, you can also, and you should also, be promoting this to your database, to your socials. These people you're not going to auto invite, of course, but you're going to invite them. They're going to hit a registration page, and then they're going to be auto invited for your webinar. The other thing that you're going to be able to do inside of here is that you can also do your webinar promotion inside of school or the community, whatever you use, and basically say, hey, make sure you join the webinar. And I can actually show you what that looks like. Again, very simply, just looking at it like this, where they're automatically being invited to the webinar. And then from there, of course, you have your webinar drips. They're hopping on the live webinar. And again, of course, all roads lead back to your paid services, paid community, whatever it might be. So this strategy really just focuses on capitalizing on everything that you have. Again, I see too many people, I talk to agencies every single day. They're running ads, they're booking appointments, and they're signing clients, which is absolutely great. But what about everything else? What about your database? What about your social media views? What about everybody that's seen your ad and then they go click on your profile and they follow you that you're not even posting to? Those are people that, although they didn't book right now, that they're willing to go and they're willing to sit through a webinar. They're willing to get a lead magnet from you and they are willing to convert. They're just not ready yet. They're not sold on you. They're not sold on your brand. They might not be in the buying pocket, and that's fine. But implementing this into your business is going to help you capitalize on and double, if not triple, your revenue without having to spend more on ads, without having to send more cold emails, send more LinkedIn messages, but again, can help you capitalize on everything else that you're doing. So if you're not doing this, I highly recommend you implement this strategy into your business. We have so much other stuff that goes along with this strategy of capitalizing on the attention that you already have, different cycles. This is really just showing having a group. This is very simply the strategy that we used and we implemented for our client. But there are so many different other strategies that you can, what I call adding it into this web, where you're constantly remarketing to individuals. And once this is set up, this does not take much time, right? You have somebody taking your calls, you have somebody doing the posts. But again, it's allowing you to book more appointments, generate more interest, and pre sell customers into your actual services that you're trying to sell. So again, I highly recommend go out there, implement this into your business in addition to everything else. Again, as you can imagine, there's so many more things that you can implement into this in terms of getting people into some kind of web coded SaaS product for free and then upselling them from there. There's so much more cool stuff that you can be doing specifically on social media to flood more people into here. You could do a paid group. And this is just scraping the surface of how much cool stuff that you can be doing to capitalize on the attention. We didn't even get into any kind of personalized outreach or any of the other cool strategies that you can be doing to create your web and capitalize on all of the attention, retargeting ads, like everything else to basically capitalize on all of the attention that you're getting with your business, getting individuals stuck in your web, and then deploying the different conversion mechanisms that's going to get them on calls to buy your services. So if you want to learn more about all of those other conversion mechanisms and ways to create this web, I highly recommend booking a call with us down below. And if you're not ready to do that, you can join Setterlun University. It's only $17 a month. We give away all of these strategies. And again, when you're ready, you can always book a call to work with us on a one-to-one basis.